Good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure to be joined here by Allon and SuperMac and MacDonald. Thank you to Steve Wraith from Newcastle Legends to set this up. The link to his website will be in the description of this video. Right, gentlemen, first of all, either of you can answer this, but how's your fitness? Because Newcastle can certainly do with a striker these days.
Well, he's in better shape than me. I mean, he scored three goals in his home debut against Liverpool, 5 goals for England, number 9 shirt, never been done ever at Wembley. And I'm just an old cripple these days.
Still better than Hostel.
I'll join you on that, Joe, because mine, with 2 artificial knees, I think we could still be a bit more mobile than what we're seeing these days.
It's a little bit disappointing, Mal, because at the end of the day, and it's not about the football club, it's not about the players and the inflated wages and our beautiful city. It's not about that. It's about the fans. And the fans, 52,000, arguably every week, come in, and you know, it was like we've never won anything for 50 years. It's a disgrace, absolute disgrace.
Well, and throw in 2 relegations.
Yeah.
It's a sheer nonsense, and watching this battle going on between owner and manager. You don't run a football club that way.
And you've been a manager, Mal, and Rafa, I mean, will he walk? He's got his hands tied. Has he got his hands tied? I mean, he's going to get no money to spend in the transfer window. We all know that.
No.
He's not going to get a penny.
No, he's not.
And he's done miracles. And this is the owner. Is he going to be happy with being 4th off bottom? Because them fans up there deserve better.
Yeah, and also, Joe, that you can't criticise the players for anything that's happening, because no matter what, they're just giving their all out.
I think they're running, Mal. They're running.
They're
Some of them aren't
everything.
good enough.
But yes, but a lot of them know that they're not quite up to scratch.
As a Newcastle supporter though, Mal, as you've been a legend at Newcastle, all you had to do, and all I was brought up to do, to play football over 20 years in my career, professional career, if you give 100%,
The fans.
that's all you need. But you're not letting anybody else down apart from yourself if you don't give 100% in everything that you do, you know. And they are running. It's like a different little scenario when Mourinho's left Man United. I think he's won 8 off the trot, Solskjaer, because the players now are playing without fear. They're running for each other. They're doing things. They're creating. They're scoring. And it's like a weight off the shoulders.
But did you ever get the impression more that there is a manager who's actually pushing the club to sack him and give him a massive great
22 million allegedly, but if we got rid of our manager, either if Rafa walked or he got sacked, Rafa gets a hefty payoff. But where are we going to get another manager with a CV like Rafa Benitez? We're never going to get a manager.
Well, that's
like
the worst thing with fans, isn't it? They realise how lucky we are to have a manager at Newcastle who's got the likes of the Champions League on his CV. Unfortunately, he's stuck with an owner who is happy to finish 17th every year.
You know, when you think that the club he managed before Newcastle was Real Madrid.
I know, it's insane. He went from the Burnabout to Burton away, didn't he?
The richest
in the
club
Championship
in the world. You know, did you see through the week the financial figures that
this is outrageous.
It's just about income. That's all, just income for the year of 2018. Newcastle are in the top 20 in Europe, which means the top 20 in the world, because there's nobody outside of Europe earning more.
I didn't know that.
And
8th richest in the UK.
They're in the top 20, and Benitez can't get his hands on any of it.
Can't get a loan signing through the door.
Yes, mind now, there is one thing that I would say, that Rafa's his record in the transfer market with Newcastle is not that hot. Is it?
Who are you saying? I mean, we'll talk about players now, but I want to talk about pundits in a minute. But who are you saying about the players that are? Because if you kind of make a silk purse out of the sows here.
I understand that, but at the end of last season, no sooner had the final whistle blown than he signed Atsu from Chelsea for 6 million.
Yeah,
the one that gets
Atsu
me.
really isn't good enough.
The one you're on about is Jacob Murphy for 12 million.
Oh, well.
And he doesn't even get on the bench most days. He's linked with a lower move to West Brom now. So there you're right about Rafa.
Do you ever get the feeling that they signed the wrong Murphy?
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I said the other day when I done it.
And it's happened before in football.
Yeah, it is.
It was the wrong brother. Yeah.
I mean,
and
we got the right MacDonald and not her from Coronation Street.
But I just wonder whether the owner looks at what Rafa's done in the transfer market and says, well, I can't trust him with money.
Excuse me.
You know, that his record's not that good, and if that's the case, then get somebody in to go and do the deals.
Yeah. The thing is, Mal, do you not think with that the budget that Rafa's got, to be fair to him, you look like my former club, Chelsea Football Club, that just paid reportedly 57.5 million for a player that they've just loaned back to Borussia Dortmund. They bought a player for 70 million, Morata, who was one of Spain's hottest properties, and he can't get on the bench. So
and they're looking to let him go, aren't they?
there's 70 million there, and there's 60 million, and yet our transfer thing is probably 45 million for our team at the minute. So, you know, is his hands tied? Because, you know, out there you're going to have to find a bit of gold somewhere. You're not going to get a Malcolm MacDonald or a Didier Drogba or a Zola.
And he's done it. He's done it with the likes of Martin Dubravka. That was a bit of gold that he's found.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Player of the year. Deservedly so. Very delighted for him as well to get the North East Footballer of the Year. Mal, I just want to ask you about pundits, right? Because I've got a little bit of a bee in my body.
Joe, you've always got a bee in your body.
I know that, but I'll only be honest.
He's done it at 5.
Because we bleed black and white. But Jermaine Jenas was on Match of the Day the other day, right? And he come out with a statement, right, which I found quite unbelievable. He said, like, Newcastle living in a goldfish bowl. What? We've got the best city in the world, we've got the best people in the world, we've got the best football club in the world, we've got the best fans in the world, living in a goldfish bowl. Okay, right, I'm not being funny. Quite rated him as a player, but he was caught in possession more times than Amy Winehouse. I'm not being funny. No, seriously. And he comes on and slags our city. Have a little bit of that, man, how are you? Just keep the ball. Just get you moved to Tottenham and take your money. Great.
I thought he had all the ability to be a really super player, and he never really showed it. I was always expecting that bit more, and it just never ever developed with him. And all I can think is that he's gone on the books of a damn good agent who's got him into the football
punditry,
football on television.
Well, you were one of the 3 legends, Mal, right? And we all know that you were the only legend out of the 3. To be fair, no, that's true though, isn't it? And you've been a pundit, you've been a football manager. Who do you think is a decent pundit these days on TV, like or radio? Or who do you think talks any sort of good stuff instead of the bollocks that I hear when I'm listening to Sky and I'm listening to Match of the Day and I'm listening to just total bollocks they talk? You know, I mean, that Michael Owen's brilliant, honestly. He's got more appearances on Match of the Day than what he did for us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sometimes I enjoy listening to Graham Souness.
Great player, legend in the game.
Yes,
quite controversial.
And I feel that he says what he sees.
I did laugh about Souness. Just to interrupt you, just at the minute. I did laugh the other day when there was a unbelievable tackle, and the guy was over the top and he got sent off. Can't remember the game it was, and Souness turned on. He says, Graham Souness, his nickname was the leg breaker. Honestly, he couldn't tackle his mother-in-law. He was like, honestly, boom, hard as a coffin nail.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he was. But go on, sorry.
Yeah. No, I remember when we were managing Fulham, and we took Liverpool to 3 games in the cup competition. But in the end, Graham Souness was the difference.
Yeah,
we got Dalglish wrapped up, we had Rush wrapped up, but it was Graham Souness who...
Conductor.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
and he finished up scoring the only goal of 3 games.
So Mel, we're talking about, like you just mentioned, the FA Cup. What I'm thinking today, is this a deflection from our league survival, or is it like, do we want to win a cup for these fans?
I don't.
That's what the team's going to put out.
I have this horrible feeling that it'll be a relatively changed and weakened side that's put out, because the cup competition doesn't, I think, deem importance as far as the manager is concerned. Yet, have a good cup run. When you're having a good cup run, you get better results in the league.
Builds momentum and confidence, isn't it? It's huge for the dressing room.
Yeah.
And also for the fans, they deserve something, don't they? 50 years, man.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And to treat the FA Cup with this day really annoys me. I get aggrieved about it, and I hope, as we sit here before the Watford game, that Rafa is going to put out the best side he can. If he's going to put a weakened side out, put it out against Man City.
Because they're going to get beat anyway.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter what side he puts out. Man City are probably going to absolutely
steamroller.
Newcastle. Yeah.
Has the FA Cup lost its magic then? Well, you see a lot of teams like you see wrestling players now, don't you?
The trouble is,
Mountain played in the final.
Yes, the trouble is there are so many foreigners in here, and they don't
Understand
appreciate
the beauty of it.
the value of what it's always been in the history of English football. The same as probably we don't understand the Italian Cup and what have you, and so I don't feel that wonderful build-up that there used to be to any round, starting from the 3rd round onwards. The magic all started, didn't it?
It used to be like an all-day thing, didn't it?
Yeah, but it used to build up through the week to that day, and then the day would just explode.
Yeah.
And there was something magical about it. You know, when you think that here we are in the 4th round, and you've got sides like Newport still in it. You know, wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, it's great stuff.
I mean, you say about that, obviously, Mal, you played in the FA Cup final itself, and the magic was when we were kids growing up. Me and Gaza and the great crop that we had, the class of 85, if you like, never mind the Manchester United class of 92. Them, honestly. Sick of hearing about them. We won the FA Youth Cup, right? As 16, 17 and 18 year olds would come through together, and we're playing on the pitch at St James's Park, like in an FA Youth Cup.
Yes.
You know, in the first year we got knocked out in the quarterfinals, but we were together for 2 years.
Yeah.
If you understand it, our second year was when we were older, and we won the FA Youth Cup, and Gascoigne 2, Allon 2, the rest of the boys 10 out of 10 against Watford, who were playing today. Beat them 4-1 at Vicarage Road.
Wonderful.
And
at Vicarage Road,
yes,
you beat them 4-1.
I just want to say, Elton John, stick that up your trouser. That one for me.
Joe's going back on memories, and if you pardon me, I'd like to do the same. I was 6 years of age at primary school, and on the Monday morning there was assembly, and the headmistress had stood up, and she loved her football, did the headmistress, and she said we have to congratulate our local team, Fulham. It was the nearest school to Craven Cottage, and I lived on Finley Street that led up to the main entrance. She said we must congratulate Fulham. They got a very creditable draw up at St James Park on Saturday, drawing with Newcastle, 1 each. And the replay is on Wednesday afternoon, kick-off 2 o'clock, so there were no floodlights then. And she said, and those who genuinely want to see the game come into school in the morning, have lunch, and then go to the ground. Can you imagine that happening these days?
No, because none of them go to school. They're all watching Jeremy Kyle in the morning.